So we're outside today on the beer can chicken. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna come over here. Got the chimney going. Got some hardwood briquettes going in here. Usually I like to use lump charcoal, but the grocer was out of the lump that I like to use, and so I just picked up the store brand hardwood briquettes. We'll get this going. We're gonna throw that chicken on here. We're gonna do we're not gonna use the offset, but we're gonna do 2 zones. So we'll have the fire on one side of the grill and the chicken on the other side. Get it up to about 350, 375 for today's cook. Here we are. We've got the birds, got them cleaned up, dried up. Make sure you dry them off when you take them out of the wrapper. These are fresh, never been frozen chickens from our HEB. Dry out the insides, make sure you get there, remove all the gizzards and all that stuff that come with it. Today we're gonna go on this bird. We're gonna go with some Oma and Poppy's Flipping the Bird. They're my buddy Jan, that's him right there, and his wife. This is some stuff that they make up in Idaho and they sell it up there. They ship it down to me. It's some really, really good stuff. This Flipping the Bird, you cannot go wrong with it. Then over on the other one, on this chicken, we're gonna go with some of Big Dog's barbecue seasoning. This is a special blend. I'll put the recipe online sometime when we make that. We're gonna spray them down first with some avocado oil, and then we're gonna put the rub on the outside. We're gonna get some up under the chicken, and we're gonna get some down inside the cavity. Whoops. Before we put them on the cans and put them on the fire. So, all right. The Oma and Poppy's Flipping the Bird on here. Get it kind of covered up good. We put some down on the inside, making sure we hit all the spots. When we stand it up on the can, we will hit it with just a little bit more of the can right there. We're gonna go with some Lone Star Light. Kind of beer doesn't really matter. It's just keeping moisture inside that bird, keeping it moist. I drink down to about here. Now it's ready to go. I only have one beer can stand, so I can only set one up inside, but we'll do beer can on both when we get out to the grill. There's a trick. If you don't have one of those stands, there's a trick that works pretty good with it. So we'll get that fire going, and then we will get back on it. Through the thermometers that we use here. This is the one that we've used the longest here. This was on Amazon, maybe 20 bucks. Bought it a couple of years ago. We use it a lot on our beer. It's got 2 probes. When we do beer here at One Arm, we usually do 2 batches at once. Me and my buddy Marcus we'll each do a batch. And so it is programmable. The instructions are not very clear, and it doesn't have a lot of options. So I mainly just use it for temp. It's got 2 different probes. This one is just for inside the chamber, the temperature of it. And then it's got a probe over here that you can stick down in the meat. So we'll use that today. This is a new one that I bought. This was about 20 bucks on Amazon also. This one is Bluetooth, which is really cool. So I can get it from the phone. It'll have alarms that'll go off at different temperatures. It can have up to 6 probes in it. I've got 3 for today. Again, we've got one that'll do the inside the temp of the chamber, and we'll do one in each bird. There's one, and then this one we haven't used yet. They're color coded, which is cool, except for when they get smoke on them, that smoke kind of disturbs it. So this was purple. That one I think originally was green, and then that one is orange, and then we came with a red one. It came with 4. I could buy 2 more and go with it. And then I've got a ThermaPen instant read digital thermometer. This is really good. When you're ready, you pop that out and get an instant reading, really accurate. What's nice is this one and this one are both magnetic, so they'll stick right onto the grill. This guy you can carry around with you, and this one just kind of sits the home base where things are plugged into. But I really am enjoying this one because it uses, like I said, Bluetooth. And I'll send you a screenshot when we get going. Let's come over here and look. Briquettes are getting nice and ready. We'll dump them down there, and then we're also going to add some apple wood on top for a little bit of smoke today. For the coals to come up to temp, up to getting ready to dump in. Not temp yet, but they haven't dumped the chimney yet. So while we're waiting on that, we're just going to hang out here in the backyard. It's mid-70s today here in San Angelo. Gorgeous day after some 90s this week where it was brutal. I'm glad I held off cooking this because this is the best weather to cook in right now. It is so nice, mid-70s. It's a little windy today. There was a cold front that came through and knocked that temp down, so the wind is up every now and then. But you know, I'll take it because it is gorgeous. Ella, my wife, and I, we did some gardening earlier this afternoon and just chilled outside for a few hours while we were waiting on, to do this, and it was pretty cool. Let me give you a tour of the backyard of One Arm Brewing here. Door into the backyard. There's first dog Rosie. We've got this great metal fence. I love it. Painted it green because I love baseball, and that gives me a baseball kind of feel, that outfield fence. Last year, this tree, we had a tornado come through. The north part of town really got hit hard. We had a couple of down bursts of air, whatever, knocked a big chunk of that, took out that section of fence. A couple of years ago, a big chunk of that tree fell on our neighbor and took out that part of that fence. We finally got that all fixed up. Over here, we've got a little hangout section. This is our big red oak that we just had trimmed down. There was a lot of dead in it up until a couple of days ago. We had that trimmed. Here's our garden that we worked on today. This lavender and that lavender we had for the past 4 or 5 years. We planted some Texas bluebonnet. Don't know if they'll bloom out this far west, but who knows. These little purple pink things, those are kind of cool. See little spots of green, those are some plants that are coming up from last year. We like to plant perennials. That's a lavender that we just planted. We had one there a couple of years ago and it died off. Finally got to Lowe's in time for them to have some. Unfortunately, that's like a Spanish lavender. This is like some other kind of lavender, but the flowers look the same. Lavender does really well back here in the heat and the sun. We get a lot of butterflies in the spring. Hopefully we haven't missed that time. So back over here, there's that tree, right? There's neighbors. One of the nice things about our neighborhood is our garages and driveways are in the back. And so that's there, and their driveway is there, and then their backyard starts on the other side. So there's not neighbors like right up on us, which I like our neighbors, but I like some privacy too. And then over here, future flower bed or something right there. You can see back here, we've got the grill station. We've got Oklahoma Joe's offset with gas. We like to use that. This is the setup 2 burners that we use for when we do beer, but we'll pull that out into the yard because that gets really hot. And when we brew beer, it's a good time. Several of us hanging out. We'll cook some burgers, bring some food over, and just kind of hang out, set a TV up. So then over here's kind of our prep, hangout, eat area. And so, and we put this sale up. We had another sale, a couple of sales from IKEA a couple of years ago we bought. They finally died this year. This one was a Amazon find. We've got some nice LEDs hanging up there for some nighttime. All right, so this fire looks about ready to dump, and let's dump it and get moving. I recommend wearing some kind of welding gloves when you dump these charcoals. They do get hot. We're just gonna dump right here. Let them spread around a little bit. Set that off to the side. It's nice and hot. We're gonna put some briquettes down there and then some apple wood. Got those briquettes down there. Got some apple wood on top. Got the vent over here on the offset wide open because that air is gonna flow through there. Got this open, wide open. We wanna get this up to temp. We'll close that. Actually, slide the grate back over. A little warm, so slide them over now a little bit. There we go. We'll let those get up hot. So what's going to happen here? I've got a pan down there to catch grease from the chicken, so it doesn't get on the bottom of the grill. Fire over on this side. The birds will sit on this side, so it'll be kind of indirect. Nice. We're looking for about 350, 375 today. So how I've got some of these probes. This one's going to that new guy, so it's going to be over on this side. We've got one in the back. And that's just going to give us, some temperature readings on the inside of the grill. It comes with this guy up here, but I haven't found these to be very accurate. I ruined a couple of good cooks because I was going off to those temperatures before I started measuring inside with the digital. I also like to use both. I've only used this guy on 2 cooks. I've used that one on a bunch, so I trust this one, but I'm using them both so I can kind of see how this one reads compared to that one. You can see in there we're already up to 162. Outside 167. Outside is 75. That's those thermometers, those probes hanging right down there because it's nice. Like I said, it's gorgeous out here. Inside on this guy, probe 1 says 76, so that heat hasn't hit back to the back yet. So we'll just keep an eye on those, and we will put the birds on here in just a little bit. So today's cook is going to be a little longer than the ones we've done earlier in our series. We're going to get those chickens on. This is going to take an hour and a half, 2 hours to get them up to the internal temperature before they're ready and safe to eat. So we're just kicking back, waiting on the grill to get up to the temp we want so we can maintain that temperature, get some good clean smoke coming off of it. Our beer of choice today, I know we're a Texas barbecue place, One Arm Brewing and Barbecue. We do our own, but we also like good Texas beer. Today we're going to go with some 318 Golden Ale. This is a brew from Shreveport, Louisiana, from the 318 area code, hence the name. It's good, crisp, clean. My buddy Alan, who's the TD at Centenary College, TD is a technical director if you're not a theater person. He's the TD at Centenary College. Alan and I, we became fast friends about 5, 6, 7, I got to count, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And I've gone out and helped them with their lighting on their stuff. He TDs for our Kennedy Center Festival when we have it here in Texas. He's a great guy. Let me tell you, him and his wife own rental properties there in Shreveport. And, you know, this COVID-19 time, it is crazy. People are out of work, getting their hours cut. And him and his wife sent letters to all their tenants saying, if you got to make a choice between food and rent, do the food. He's given them some grace on rent during this time of uncertainty for all of us. You know, when I read that yesterday, I was moved. You know, Alan is a great guy, and that's just an example of how awesome he is. So Alan, for you, buddy, today, 318 Golden Ale. Thanks for giving it to me. This is some good stuff. All right, so we're gonna put these chickens on. We got the grill up to temp. I'm wearing some gloves with liners because it gets pretty hot in there, and I've got to deal with some heat, so I just want to protect the hands a little bit there. So we're gonna open up, good smoke going. This first one we're gonna put in the back. It's gonna be the one with the Oma and Poppy's flipping the bird. We're gonna put that in. We're gonna go breast towards the heat because it's thickest.
It's a little off because I couldn't see for the fish, but when you open it.
That's all right. Is it still recording now?
Yeah.
All right. And then let's go ahead and get a probe. And this one, we're going to come in. We're going to go down into the breast like so. And then let's go ahead and get one of our other from the newer one. We'll probe. Let's probe it back here in the thigh area. Just stick those, make sure they're not sticking out. Now for this other one, this one's going to be a little tricky. Remember, we don't have the stand for it. And those flames are getting up. As soon as we close this down, it's going to go back down. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to go ahead and put the can of beer inside. What we're going to do is we're going to use these legs like a tripod. We're going to set it up. We're going to tripod those legs just like that. Let's get it over a little bit more, like so. And let's go ahead and probe this guy.
The one that's not in the beer tonight.
That one has beer too, just so you know. They both do. You still recording?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to close it up like so. And adjust the temperatures and be on our way. All right. So we're going to go with some mac and cheese with our chicken. So we're going to put this here out. So I got the mac. It's all softened up, drained. Throw some butter in. And then here in a little bit, we're going to add some Mexican style cheese blend. And then we're going to add a little bit of cotija cheese also. Give it a little bit of different flavor for tonight. You know, we make mac and cheese a lot. We got some recipes that we really like, some family recipes. Just try it a little bit different. And we're going to throw it in that there skillet and top it off on the stove, on the grill out there when we cook these chicken sausages. Also, because you know at One Arm Brewing, endless sausage spread every time. Here it is. I'm gonna go throw this on the grill. Added some paprika on the top, so it's got that cheese, some milk, some butter. Make a nice cheese sauce on it. A little salt and pepper. We're gonna go put it on the grill to finish off when we throw those sausages on. We're gonna pull those chickens off because they are ready at temp, and we'll start breaking them up here in a little bit. See you in a second. Here we are. We're gonna open up Give it a look. Oh, well, sometimes you fail. So what happened, this guy fell over earlier. So we had to stand him back up. Looks like we got a little too hot, too close. It's one of the things on this grill I'm still learning. There's still gonna be some good meat. We're just not gonna get as much of good skin out of it there. So we'll salvage this. Presentation is definitely not what you wanna see on some birds, but we're gonna go ahead and throw our sausages down. It's one of the things on this grill I'm still trying to figure out. You know, having this offset here when we cook, when we smoke stuff, that this chamber is really kind of small, and things on this end tend to cook faster. So maybe next time we try this chicken, what we'll do is we'll move those coals down there and see if that gives us that distance. We get that temp. Like I said, this is still going to be pretty edible. It's just that it is pretty roasty looking. Let's check it with the instant temp. That guy's up to 157. You want it to get to 165. Is when we pull these off on this front end. 163, 161. When we pull this off, it'll still continue to rise for a little bit, and it'll be good to eat. So we're gonna do that. Pull these off. We'll put that mac right there. All right. So here's the chickens. Let's look down at them. The backside doesn't look as bad. We're gonna take the skin off anyway, so that's not that big a deal. That meat is tender and moist and good. Got the gloves, got the cotton liners because these are still hot, nice and soaked up. But look at this. Look at this meat here. We're gonna cut a little sample piece off of this. Look at that. So this is the one with the big dog. Here, Jude wants a test piece. The smokiness is really, really good there. So we're just gonna break this apart. Put all that meat over here. Use the knife just a little bit to get it moving, but really it's juicy and tender enough that it just falls apart in the hands. So there's some good stuff. We'll give you a picture of it when it's all said and done. All right. So you can see on here, that's a lot of meat. All the meat is still really tender and juicy and great. Good to eat, ready to go. It's just that outside got a little crispy on the breast side because of the proximity to the fire. Didn't look good coming off, but it looks good now. And some of that skin, you know, on the back side, it's still really good. So I saved some of that. So I like to chop that up and mix that in there too. I got some green beans going back here. Let's go look at the mac and cheese and the sausages. This stuff's cooking up really good. Look at this, these sausages. Oma, I think they were Omas, I can't remember now. But here I'm at the HEB chicken sausage with some poblano and jack cheese. See that jack is popping out there. These guys are about ready to pull. That cheese is nice and bubbly in there. Look at that. We'll give this about another minute or two and then we'll pull it and it's time to eat. It's gonna go really good. There's some good flavor on it already, but we like to add a little bit more. So we're gonna go with some of our One Arm Brewing Texas barbecue sauce. Got a little bit more to make that up. And then also Oma and Poppy's. We've got this great Drunk Uncle. This sauce, look at that brown sugar bourbon. This sauce is the best chicken sauce. Best sauce. I put on a lot of stuff. It's really, really good. We'll have that on the side for dinner. All right, so let's give this a taste, shall we? Let's go with some of mine right there. Look at that. That chicken just shredded right up. Fell right off the bone. Nice and warm still. You can taste that smoke in it. It's juicy still, tender. Everything you want chicken to be. Hints of the seasoning come through. Let's go over here to the Oma and Poppy's. Let's look at this one. Here it is. This is the breast again. Just look at that. It shreds right up. It's so good. Let's try this mac and cheese. Look at this. Look at the cheese just falling off of it there. So the animals, they're dying for some. We'll give them some here in a little bit. We got a lot left over. What we like to do is we'll make sliders with them with some Hawaiian rolls, slice them down the middle, put them in a pan, chicken, cheese, sauce, throw them in the oven. That's really good. Tomorrow we're gonna take some of this extra and we're gonna make some chicken pot pie with it. Nothing like some good smoked chicken pot pie. That's right. This is Mike. I'm signing off. I'm going to enjoy this food. Have a good evening.